Well, everyone, this is Sidekicks Gamer. It's been a while. Well, actually, no, it hasn't been a while, because it's finally time to review an episode in 2015. Okay, a couple things I want to get out of the way. As of right now, it's January 13th, 2015, and just like freshman year, I have to do midterms for like the third time, so here's what I want to do. I'm hoping that I can finish these last 3 episodes before the week after Martin Luther King week, because the last week of January is where midterms begin. So that's what I want to do. So if I can get these last 3 episodes out of the way before midterms start, I'll start Season 4 in February. Without further delay, let's do Just for Sidekicks. So the episode begins with apparently Spike going through a flash phase with Pee-wee, the little Phoenix baby from Dragon Quest, and apparently he had to turn him back. What a freaking shocker. And apparently Spike is making a cake. Says it while he's eating the jewels. Please don't tell me any of these types of conversations between Spike and Aloysius are going to happen. May I ask where you got the gems? I pray to God you didn't steal them. And I wouldn't really want to talk about it because he ends up eating them all, and...
Who? That's what I'm asking. Who? Who took my jewels?
Could you be a bigger idiot?
This cake was gonna be so good.
What would be the difference? What would be the difference? How would anyone even eat a jewel other than dragons? I'm sure the normal person would have broken their teeth if they tried to make a bite into that.
Why?
Because you're an unlikable jackass that I seem to be the only person in this community who absolutely despises you. Or maybe you're just an idiot. Okay, so after the theme song... Oh my god, get over it! Okay, so getting past that, Fluttershy stops by and offers...
She do a great job welcoming the head of the Equestria Games when she visits the Crystal Empire tomorrow.
Oh, I know all about that. As if I wouldn't be any help welcoming.
Well, yeah, I guess you do kind of make a before, and after all, you were the person who helped get the Crystal Heart to Cadence. Seriously, like how much longer are they going to forget that?
I don't know what...
So, anyways, Fluttershy asks Spike to watch Angel while she's at the Crystal Empire with the other main 6.
All I have is this jewel.
Is there like a secret underground... jewel stash? Where do they keep finding these things?
That's a really big one.
And of course, being Spike, he tries to use greed and persuasion to get the jewel and agrees to watch Angel.
If it's too much trouble, I can only see if there's somebody else.
We already agreed on the whole jewel thing, so I'll just...
Thank you. Angel, aren't you just so excited?
I hate to admit it, Angel, but I am getting a really bad thing.
See you tomorrow.
Okay. So, how exactly is this gonna work?
The only thing the pet that might need some watching.
Did Spike officially get rid of his greedy personality from Secret of My Excess? Because exactly what happens in the next scene, he tries to persuade Rainbow Dash and Rarity to keep an eye on Opal and Tank.
Well, while you're busy in the Crystal Empire, then maybe that's just something to think about.
Tank's not some fuzzy little bunny. He can take care of himself.
Except when he smacks into stuff.
He's a strong, fearless, and totally together pet.
Yeah, coming from the person who actually didn't want him to begin with. And apparently doesn't know how to keep his own flying machine on. Okay, so yeah, as you can probably guess, we get to the whole Rainbow Dash eventually gives in to let Spike watch. Oh my god, I freaking hate you, Daily Motion. Ugh. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, so eventually Rainbow Dash gets into letting Spike watch Tank, and being the greedy, obnoxious, self-centered bastard he is, Spike writes down everything he can for Rarity to keep an eye on Opal.
Opal, she likes to eat every 36.5 minutes. You groom her with her silken brush, head to toe, and don't forget to put your pillow out in the middle. That's where she likes it. And the temperature in the room should always be exactly 81.4 degrees.
I really hate suck-ups.
That's the only way she can get to sleep.
Well, then what happens if it's over 81.4 degrees?
And, oh, good. So, thanks for the help, and good luck to you.
Oh, boy.
I think the dragon was expecting a little something for his effort.
You gotta be kidding me. I thought we were to pass the whole Spike already. He knows that Rarity knows he has a crush on her and the secret of my access. Is the continuity from Secret of My Access just thrown out the window for some reason? Ugh.
Oh, it's beautiful as the pony who gave it to me.
Seriously? Go die.
Shouldn't you be critter proofing the library or something? Tank has a tendency to...
Smacking the animals and afraid to beat the
Yeah, I'll get right on this.
Yes, you may begin to notice that the greedy, self-centered Spike, aka the Spike that I absolutely hate next to the stupid Spike, is starting to show in this episode. You can see where I'm going with this later on in this review.
3 down, 3 to go.
You know, if Spike was offering to keep in my head, I would say, no, get lost.
Which section said Gummy?
So, yes, so Gummy is next on the list, and after some confusing drama, Pinky allows him to keep an eye on him.
By a flying turtle. What?
1,000 plus carrots of pure deliciousness.
I'm really starting to hate you more and more now. So, yes, he even manages to convince Applejack to watch Winona.
Looks like you got a regular pet daycare in here, Spike. You'll still be able to get some good playtime with Winona like you said, though, won't you? She tends to get a little wild if she doesn't get her exercise. That's for sure.
She's a lot like Peach, and...
I remember seeing critters on the invite list. That's because we're leaving him here with Spike. He's going to do a little critter sitting for us.
And by critter sitting, mean doing absolutely nothing and being an absolute prick and making a jewel cake because he only cares about the freaking jewels. You are aware I'm about to kill this guy, you know that? Okay, so eventually Spike convinces Twilight to watch the pets as well as Owlicious, and then once they leave, all hell breaks loose. And it's all downhill from here. So, yeah, Spike's not doing very well with keeping an eye on the critters. Is Gummy using a book basically his own way of running hurdles? And Opal's doing whatever, and Tank is using Owlicious as a slingshot.
Alright, Sidekicks, front and center! There are 6 of you, but there's only 1 right here in front of me!
Did you know that means that the odds are against you? It's like I said, the creep's an idiot.
2. And what I say, go! Spike, the bossy, that's
Who? And it's Bryce. It's the person who thinks that joke is going to get old really quick. That's who.
1, 2, 3. Come on, number 4.
Okay. Okay, are you now referring to the animals as codenamed Kids Next Door Operation Numbers? Really?
2 yearly physical tests.
Ugh. Okay, so if I'm not clear enough of what the problem with this episode, it's Spike. Have I not addressed yet how the greedy, selfish Spike, you know, the one I absolutely hate and make me want to punch him square across the face, is starting to show? Yeah, that's the one I literally want to smack upside the head. So, yeah, you may notice that the Crystal Empire greeting thing is actually more interesting than what's going on right now. Because I would much rather see that than this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who's missing?
Oh, unlikable Dick Cheese Angel?
Angel.
Okay, when did Charles Manson take over the background? And then the rest of the episode is pure hell for Spike.
Juicy, delicious juice.
Yeah, you only care about the jewels, and it gives me one more good reason to smack you upside the head, asshole.
Now, you see that?
So eventually Winona finds Angel at the CMNC clubhouse, and to this episode's credit, the CMNC are one of the few saving graces of this episode because their comedy is great. They are one of the few saving graces of this episode.
The natural reason is proper to die for.
Okay, not every one of their lines hit bullseyes.
Isn't Angel just the cutest thing you've ever seen?
Hey, Sweetie Belle, is Angel the biggest douchebag you've ever heard ever? Seriously, even the other pets don't like him. That's raising a lot of concerns. So then, Spike decides to act like an even bigger greedy prick and decides to hoard off the pets to the CMNC.
I've been watching them, but you all just hit it off so well that maybe I could let you take care of him instead.
You do realize that you're offering 6 pets to 3 kids. Kids who are only 10 years old. I don't think that this responsibility is well enough for them.
We've got some major crusader business planned for today. Major. We're getting our skydiving ski marks today. Ah!
Am I the only one who finds the CMNC and their skydiving outfits really cute?
Well, I suppose if you've got other plans, it's just you're so good with them.
That face makes me want to get a shotgun and blast your face off, you know that?
Like, get a cutie mark, funny fitting, good? A funny fitting cutie mark.
What would that even look like?
That would be adorable!
Or in Angel's case, it would be really frightening.
Of course, he does seem to like us.
So what also works about the CMNC is that they're not stupid in this episode. But what's also worth about this episode is that the CMNC aren't stupid and they don't let Spike off the hook.
Tricks for when they're good, and best for when they're tired. Toys, baby, toys.
It's an afternoon. They don't need all that stuff.
They'll be fine.
And that's why you don't know the first thing about keeping an eye on the pet. I really hope you suffer the rest of this episode as much as I am. Because guess what, Spike? If I'm going down for this episode, I'm taking you with me.
We should be able to buy them some things. One, Jewel might be able to cover it all.
What would I possibly be doing with Jules?
I happen to know for a fact that Applejack gave you a gem to watch Winona, which means...
Obviously, no one around here is getting chewed up for kindness to a poor, hungry little dragon.
How about instead of poor hungry, how about unselfish prick dragon? Because that name's more fitting for you in this episode.
Take it or leave it. We'll take it.
So eventually he does check on the pet. Whoop-de-frickin-do. And guess what? He lost a jet for a gigantic blow dryer that's blowing a dog who shouldn't have any skin right now. And eventually things don't get better for Spike, and Angel laughs at his suffering. You know, comparing which one of the two is worse between Spike and Angel, is really not a good factor for me. So Zakora shows up and offers the jewel and gives it to charity. What the hell is the point of that? Like, what was she trying to do to Spike? I don't get it. Like, he gives her a gem, she gives it to charity. What? I don't get it. That I gotta admit, that scene just came off as so mean-spirited. It makes no sense at all, and it's not backed up with any evidence. And by this point, Spike is willing to punch Angel in the face because he hates him as much as I do. Of course, Granny Smith can't deny him, and guess what? Another gem lost.
And this is just between you and me, right? No other pony has to hear a word about it?
A word about what?
Granny Smith, what did they do to you? When did they make you so unlikable too? Good God. There's only like 7 minutes left, and already the last third of this episode has so far, and most of the characters we've known from past episodes have become off as unlikable cheapskates, but apparently Angel decides to be an even bigger prick to Spike and sneaks on board the train and sacrifices another jewel to get to the Crystal Empire.
At least I have you two left.
Yep, it's official. Everyone in this episode is an asshole, except the CMNC, because they're not stupid and the world just freaking hates Spike as much as I do. Seriously, I'm glad you guys finally got my wish, but this is going too far.
Delectable little treasures.
Oh my God, get over it!
Crystal Empire? I've always wanted to see the Crystal Empire. I wish I were dressed for it, but still.
Why is it the CMNC don't get invited to their adventures? I mean, I know they're kids and all, but you do realize Sombra's gone now, right? Wouldn't it be easier if they would at least get one trip? Actually, wait, they do get it later on in Season 4. Never mind.
We're not really going. We just need to get on the train so I can get that rabbit.
Wow, you are such a convincing pet owner that you don't even know what the bunny's name is.
And when I do, we're off.
What? It's not fair.
It's kind of impossible to get off a train once you get on a train. So, it's too late to go back now. The world continues to hate Spike even more, and he ends up losing his, 5th gem?
Just take it.
Yep, as I said, everyone's a dick in this episode. So they make it to the Crystal Empire, but
So beautiful.
So enjoy it while you can, because we're not getting out of this car until we're back in Ponyville.
There is no way, no how. We're coming all the way to the Crystal Empire without looking around.
I may not be an expert, but don't the conductors, just stop by when they get to the final stop to check if anyone's still on the train? I don't know that because I usually get off on my stops, but don't they usually check to see?
No pony's gonna get past this train.
Yeah, except me, who's gonna have a tightly balled fist is having gentle contact with your nose. I really hope you know where I'm going with this. And, because the world doesn't hate him enough, Angel escapes and Spike sees the main six about to get back on the train.
Whoa. Just whoa.
It's so heavy!
Shh, right there.
I wish their adventure was more interesting than what's going on right now.
Please, please, pretty please, don't go down there.
I guess Angel's about kind of ready to apologize for his domestic abuse and putting her huff down, if he's willing to get Spike in trouble. And you forgot about that this entire episode. You know, I'm actually beginning to see why you definitely wouldn't qualify as a pet sitter. Maybe you can stop being an asshole for starters. So he uses his last gem to stop. You know what? I don't really care.
Alice, I think this car's empty.
So Angel decides to be a prick because, again, the world doesn't hate him enough up in this episode. And guess what? Something really freaking shocking this episode pulls off. Spike actually learns his lesson.
I bet he's doing a terrific job as a leader.
Yes, if you didn't hear me over that, let me explain. Something freaking amazing happens in this episode that didn't happen in Spike at Your Service. Spike actually learns his lesson.
Go ahead, Bunny. Do your worst. I deserve it. I ignored you, tried to pawn you off on someone else. I didn't take these silly things out, or fluff it like I was supposed to. I wasn't really thinking about you at all. Any of you. Just wanted to choose. I hope you'll all forgive me someday.
You know, if you make up your behavior in this episode, I will forgive you. But you learning your lesson is definitely one freaking plus. So eventually, after almost blowing his cover, or they eventually make it look like they got back from the train.
Angel looks perfect.
And even after all that trouble, he eats the freaking gem and he doesn't make his cake. Oh boy. Okay, that was just for Sidekicks. Do I even need to say what's wrong with this episode? Not really. It's pretty obvious. A lot of this episode just comes off as mean-spirited and just doesn't make any sense. Spike's behavior, of course, is just really unbearable to watch. And the whole story just feels tacked on, and it's just nothing but suffering throughout the entire episode. So, as a whole, I would say that this episode gets a D+. And it gets a D+ because it shows that the CMNC are not stupid and that Spike actually learned his lesson. Okay? So while this episode was not as infuriating as Spike at Your Service, I will say it's actually even worse than Magic Duel. Okay? But seriously, I wouldn't watch this episode because it was just painful to sit through for me. So as I said, in terms of Season 3 episodes, Just for Sidekicks is better than Spike at Your Service, but it's worse than Magic Duel. It gets a D+. Oh my god, I'm at the home stretch of this season. Well, I'm Flickcan Gamer, and I will see you guys in Games Ponies Play. We are almost done with the 3rd season. I can hardly wait. See ya.